In the early 1990s, whispers of a mysterious phenomenon began circulating among the residents of rural eastern Washington. The rumors centered around an inexplicable feature on a remote piece of land owned by a man named Mel Waters. This anomaly, known as Mel's Hole, was said to be a bottomless pit with strange and unexplainable properties. It became the subject of wild speculation and local folklore, eventually drawing the attention of the media and a curious public. Mel Waters, a quiet and unassuming man in his late 40s, first brought the hole to public attention during a call to a popular late-night radio show hosted by Art Bell. The show, Coast to Coast AM, was known for its discussions of paranormal phenomena, conspiracy theories, and other fringe topics. Mel's story was a perfect fit. "Hello, Art," Mel began, his voice steady but tinged with excitement. "I have something to share that I think your listeners will find fascinating. On my property, there's a hole that's unlike anything I've ever seen. It seems to be bottomless, and strange things happen when you get close to it." Art Bell, ever the intrigued host, encouraged Mel to elaborate. Mel explained that the hole was about 9 feet in diameter, lined with a seemingly indestructible brick or stone structure that extended down as far as he could see. He recounted how he and his neighbors had tried to measure its depth using fishing line and a weight, but even after letting out several miles of line, they never hit bottom. Mel's story quickly captured the imagination of the show's audience. He went on to describe bizarre occurrences around the hole, animals refusing to go near it, strange, echoless noises emanating from its depths, and an odd, magnetic pull that interfered with electronic devices. The most chilling tale Mel told was of a neighbor who had thrown a dead dog into the hole, only to see the dog alive and well a few days later. As word of Mel's Hole spread, curiosity and skepticism grew in equal measure. Local newspapers ran articles questioning the veracity of Mel's claims, while amateur investigators and thrill-seekers flocked to the area, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious pit. Mel, overwhelmed by the sudden attention, began to retreat from public view, fueling further speculation about the authenticity of his story. Among the skeptics was Professor Emily Hayes, a geology professor at a nearby university. Intrigued by the scientific impossibility of a bottomless pit, she decided to investigate Mel's Hole herself. Armed with geological equipment and accompanied by a few trusted colleagues, she set out for Mel's property. Upon arrival, Emily was struck by the quiet beauty of the remote landscape. Pine trees swayed gently in the wind, and a sense of tranquility pervaded the area. Mel, looking weary but hospitable, greeted the group and led them to the infamous hole. Emily was immediately taken aback by its eerie presence. The dark, yawning chasm seemed to swallow light, and the air around it felt inexplicably heavy. "May I take some measurements?" Emily asked, her voice steady but filled with professional curiosity. "Of course," Mel replied. "But I warn you, it's like nothing you've ever seen." Emily and her team set to work, lowering sophisticated measuring devices into the hole and taking readings of the surrounding area. They discovered that the hole emitted a weak electromagnetic field and that the temperature dropped significantly as one approached its edge. However, despite their best efforts, they could not determine the hole's depth or composition. Days turned into weeks as Emily and her team continued their investigation. They set up camp near the hole, documenting their findings and exploring various theories. The more they studied, the more perplexed they became. Emily began to entertain the possibility that there might be some truth to Mel's extraordinary claims. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep indigo, Emily sat by the hole, lost in thought. The stillness of the evening was suddenly broken by a faint, rhythmic hum emanating from the depths of the pit. Startled, she leaned closer, trying to discern the source of the sound. "Do you hear that?" she called out to her colleagues. They gathered around, listening intently. The hum grew louder, resonating through the ground beneath their feet. It was a haunting, otherworldly sound that seemed to vibrate through their very bones. Emily's heart raced with a mix of fear and fascination. The next day, a new visitor arrived at the camp. He introduced himself as Agent Robert Sinclair from a government agency. He claimed to have been monitoring the situation and expressed concern about the potential dangers of the hole. He insisted that the investigation be halted and that the area be secured. "We believe this phenomenon could pose a significant threat," Agent Sinclair stated, his demeanor calm but authoritative. "For your safety and the safety of others, we must contain this area." Emily and her team protested, arguing that their research was crucial for understanding the hole. However, their objections were swiftly overruled. Under the watchful eyes of government agents, they packed up their equipment and left, their questions unanswered and their findings incomplete. Back at the university, Emily struggled to come to terms with the abrupt end of their investigation. She pored over the data, hoping to find clues that might explain the hole's mysterious properties. Despite her best efforts, the enigma remained unsolved. Meanwhile, Mel Waters vanished from public view, his property cordoned off and closely guarded by government officials. Speculation about Mel's hole continued to circulate, with conspiracy theories and urban legends growing more elaborate over time. Some believed the hole was a portal to another dimension, while others claimed it was an ancient relic of extraterrestrial origin. Years passed, and the story of Mel's hole faded into the realm of folklore, its details distorted and embellished with each retelling. Emily, now a respected professor and author, often reflected on her time at the enigmatic pit. She knew that the truth, whatever it might be, lay buried in the depths of that dark chasm. In a final twist, an anonymous letter arrived at Emily's office one day. It contained a single photograph of the hole, taken from a vantage point she did not recognize. The accompanying note read, "The mystery endures. Keep searching." Emily stared at the photograph, her mind racing with renewed curiosity. She knew that Mel's hole, whatever it was, still held secrets waiting to be uncovered. And so, the legend of Mel's hole lived on, a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown and the unyielding human spirit of inquiry.